Hi, everybody. Welcome back to CMN 153. This is for our class for Tuesday, the 26th, our last class before the final examination. And our last class is about media economics. And this chapter is a chapter that basically sums up everything that we've been talking about over the course of the semester, because ultimately, media is driven by its profit margin. And there is no journal that is assigned for this particular chapter because I see it as a kind of summary of what we've been talking about in terms of various media vehicles. So if you can see in the notes below, I've got a series of definitions. And while this isn't an economics class, we have talked about some of these things over the semester. The idea of a monopoly, one company dominating all of the production and the distribution. And monopolies are supposed to be illegal because they basically do not allow for competition, and competition not only allows for consumer choice, it usually also allows for lower prices. What's more common is the oligopoly, which we've seen throughout our media studies, a few companies dominating a particular industry. And we've also talked a little bit about the trend for conglomerates, these large corporations that have been developed through all kinds of mergers, acquisitions. Disney is a particularly good example because it seems that Disney has its fingers in seemingly everything. Obviously, film, but also TV, Broadway musicals, thinking about things like merchandising, theme parks, cruise lines, promotional events, the list goes on and on. Now, a trust is a corporate business practice that's supposed to prevent fair competition. And as a result of that, we have governmental antitrust laws that are regulations that are designed to increase competition among companies. But as we've seen the trend in just about all of the media industries that we've studied about deregulation, the weakening or even the eliminating of government controls and antitrust laws on businesses. Now, the idea of a free marketplace where there's little or no government regulation is a controversial one. It comes with some positives, it also comes with some negatives. We've talked a little bit about the idea of integration, the horizontal integration, where one company owns a wide array of media businesses. So, this is one of the ways that you can avoid the dreaded monopoly charge, so that they can achieve what's known as synergy. A conglomerate's profits come from cross media subsidiaries. Or you can also have vertical integration where one company owns everything needed to produce or to distribute a product. This does risk monopoly charges. Now, we've talked a little bit about corporate profits, and the way that corporations generally make their profits are through product purchases, obviously, product subscriptions, and advertisements, sometimes all three at the same time. And as we know, the entire semester has been defined by digital convergence. So, when you want to talk about the digital convergence in the United States, some names that you might be familiar with: Microsoft, which is known for its software; Apple, which is known for its hardware; Amazon, which is known for e commerce; Google, which is known for its search advertising; Meta, which is known for its social media; Netflix, which is known for its programming. Of course, the list was different 50 years ago. We would have had things like AT&T, and we would have had things like ABC or NBC. But things have changed. Now, the United States isn't the only player. China is also becoming a major force. You might have heard of Alibaba, which is their e-commerce site, and it's hard not to have heard of TikTok, their social media site. Of course, artificial intelligence has been the big question over the course of the semester, and how that will change media. We have been using artificial intelligence, just not to the extent that we are using it today. If you think about virtual assistants like Amazon's Alexa, and I happen to have one, chatbots, which are known for their customer service capabilities. But of course, everybody is talking about generative AI, things like ChatGPT. And what the future holds is a big question mark in terms of that. So, we as consumers, have the power of consumer choice, options among a wide range of media products. That's true. I don't think consumers have consumer control, power in deciding what media is created and what media is circulated. So the consequences of that are significant. They're economic consequences, they're political consequences, they're social consequences. And there's a summary video that I wanted you to watch that talks a little bit about the idea of the controls of the media, that whoever controls the media, the images, controls the culture. A quote by Allen Ginsberg, by the way, the famous beat poet. Now, this film, or TED Talk, I should say, came out in 2017. It's 14 minutes long, and I think it does a very nice job of sort of summarizing everything that we've talked about. And if you look in the notes below, you can see that the last piece are the dates of the semester. Our final project is going to be due this upcoming Thursday on the 28th. The idea is that you submit in the final project so that you can devote yourself completely and totally to the final exam, which I will be posting on the 28th at 1 p.m., which would be the time that our class normally meets. And that final exam will be due 24 hours later on Friday the 29th at 1 p.m. If you were taking the final exam in a face-to-face course, you would have approximately 2 to 3 hours for that exam, which is as much time as I anticipate you should devote to taking that final. Certainly you shouldn't be spending 24 hours taking that final. I'll be giving a series of essay questions and asking you to choose one. It is an open book, open note final, so you can utilize the resources from the class. And for today, there's no attendance questions so that you can focus on fine tuning your final project and getting ready for your final exam. So again, you can expect on Thursday at 1 p.m. the final exam will be posted. Of course, send your final projects to me before then. If you are doing written text, PDF, please. And you can send that to my email, which is Ruiz, R-U-I-Z, at gcc.mass.edu, which is the same way that you would be returning the final exam. So once again, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Enjoy the TED Talk about whoever controls the media and the images controls the culture. And see you on Thursday, so to speak. Take care. Bye-bye.